Well, I mean, there's the obvious, which is pray for God to be glorified in his justice,
Mm,
in crushing down evil, and answering the prayers of his people, not only in Ukraine but across the world for Ukraine. Because again, there's, and that's been a great encouragement all of these months. Is so many people just, we hear across the world kind of praying for Ukraine. I've been part of prayer meetings with pastors in Indonesia, China, like just yeah, all over, Brazil.
mm,
Um, so that's, I mean, that is obviously the big need, right? Yeah, I mean, as as it wears on, I mean, it really looks like we're gonna hit the past a year mark. It's very unlikely that it'll end before the end of February. um just for, I guess, for stamina, for encouragement for a lot of people who have been, ministers, serving and doing this, for what will soon enough be over a year. It can be wearing, for sure. So just, encouragement from the Spirit of God that, um yeah, not to forget about the beauty of what he's doing
mm,
in bringing the gospel to people, and that would be obviously our first and foremost encouragement. But I would say also, that all the people that are busy doing all of this would, be able to have opportunities to rest, to be wise about kind of, self-care, if you will, getting some time just, for their families or whatever.
mm,
Because I think that's the thing, is because the needs are so, this is such a crazy situation, obviously an extreme situation, and the needs are always just go, go, go. The temptation is to also just go, 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 and then, I mean, there's a lot of people that have volunteered and also just burned out.
mm,
And eventually at some point, I'm talking now about both believers and non-believers, just, people volunteering, and at some point they just say, I can't do this anymore, and yeah.
mm,
So yeah, so that was all an extrapolation on the stamina request.
mm,
The energy system is big. It's hard to get work done when you've only got electricity, you know 33% of the time.
mm.
Yeah, so I mean, just, I guess, wisdom and, quick delivery of Patriot missiles, in order to protect the energy infrastructure.
Mm, mm,
Because Russians are using different types of missiles. Some of the missiles, Ukraine, from what I've heard, doesn't currently have the right type of air defense to actually knock out. So very good news that the US agreed to provide Patriot systems. They're not here yet, though, is the problem.
mm,
And obviously winter is still ongoing. So, um, yeah, I mean, electricity will still be an issue in the summer, but it's not as much of an issue
mm,
because it's not connected to heating. It's light out until 10 p.m. here. So that's not going to be a problem in the
mm.
summer. Um,
Benjamin, you've
yeah.
you've seen great opportunities for the gospel, and quite a number of people converted. Tell us a bit how we can pray for the outreach, and but also for the people you've seen
Yeah. Yeah.
converted.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Lord would continue to bring along the people that he wants to, and that we would, with compassion and wisdom, share the gospel with them, and that it would, he would do what only he can do, and open their hearts to receive that.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, as far as, I mean, I guess, certainly a prayer request for those who have come to faith. Uh, some of those people have stayed, in our city, and they're kind of members of our church now, so they're getting discipled. Well, others have not stayed and they've moved on, as obviously many Ukrainians are in transit now. So, I guess certainly the prayer for them would be that they would get plugged in to a healthy, gospel-centered church
mm,
and actually be able to be discipled. um that it wouldn't have been, merely kind of a, you know that it would be a true faith, I guess, is the prayer,
Yes.
that it wouldn't have been just sort of a reaction to a very difficult situation, and then once eventually everything's back to normal, that it just kind of goes by the wayside. Yeah, so discipleship, in a word, I guess, for those who have come to faith, being rooted in the gospel deeply.